Welcome to New Life Live, the premier place to receive free advice from Christian psychologists and counselors for the mental, emotional, relational, and spiritual challenges you face. Since 1988, we've offered compassionate responses that combine God's truth with proven psychological principles to guide you toward healing. Our phone lines are open. Call us now at 1-800-229-3000.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to New Life Live, the Christmas Eve edition. Brian Perez here in the studio for 2 hours with a clinical psychologist, Dr. Jill Hubbard, and licensed marriage and family therapist, J.J. West. 1-800-229-3000 is the number to call. If you're stuck in Christmas past or have lost hope for Christmas future, the best time to get back on track is now. You know, some people wait until the last minute to start their Christmas shopping. Some wait until the last minute before calling New Life Live to get the help they need. Well, don't do that. Call right now before the lines fill up at 1-800-229-3000. JJ West, what's on your mind to start us off?
Oh, it's so good to be on with you guys, and Merry Christmas. What's on my mind is Christmas.
How could it not be?
Yes,
How
exactly.
could it not be, right? We're just 2 days away, and, you know, Christmas time for a lot of us is this time of joy, a time of being with friends and family, and it's exciting and fun and filled with joy. But for many of us, it's a time of anxiety. It's a time of sadness because maybe we've lost somebody and we don't get to see them this time of year like we used to. Or maybe somebody is hurting, sick, and they're not able to attend the family gathering, the Christmas gathering like they would have in the past. Or maybe relationships are strained and it's painful, and we're longing to be with loved ones, but feel like we can't be with them in some way. And so I want to talk about the importance of looking out for others. You may be someone who, for you, Christmas time is just filled with joy, and you're loving going shopping, and you're loving getting together and eating all the food and doing all the celebrations. But are you aware of the people around you? Maybe they're people that work with you. Maybe they're people in your neighborhood. Maybe they're people that go to church with you who are hurting this time of year. Mm-hmm. Are you paying attention to them? Are you reaching out to them? Are you asking how they're doing? Are you inviting them to join you if they don't have any other place to go? And if you are someone who the holidays are difficult, are you paying attention to the God who comes near? That's what Emmanuel is, right? He is God with us. And so are you experiencing God with you in your disappointment? Are you experiencing God with you in your pain? Are you experiencing God with you in your anxiety? I think part of the way that we do that is by gathering with others who can remind us of the deeper truths of God. And so I would encourage you, as much as you can, don't isolate this holiday. Mm-hmm. Don't sit alone in your sadness. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think we have to take responsibility for making, in a sense, our own holiday, right? Mm-hmm. And so often we can look at what we are lacking. We don't have the family, or there's brokenness, like you were mentioning, JJ. But what do we have? Mm-hmm. I mean, I was reminded, even sitting in a Christmas concert this weekend, wow, it was magnificent. And it was such a Christmas moment for me. Just the music and everything pointing to Jesus.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Mm. So good.
So we have to look for other opportunities to celebrate.
That's right. That's right.
Mm-hmm. All right.
And if you are one of those who are hurting, we invite you to call today,
yes,
right?
Please.
We're here.
We're going to be here for 2 hours, and we would love to talk to you.
And we don't want to talk to ourselves.
That's true. 1-800-229-3000 is the number to call, and we can't wait to talk to you. So grab an open line. If you're watching us on Facebook or YouTube, you see the number right there on the bottom of your screen. We would love to talk to you as well. So call in and be blessed this holiday season by Dr. Jill Hubbard and J.J. West at 1-800-229-3000.
New Life Ministries has had an incredibly positive and heartfelt impact on my life. My walk with God continues to grow and strengthen every day because of all of your wonderful ministries, teaching, and love for all. I'm really a much better person because of everyone at New Life. I can't thank all of you enough. You've truly changed my life and my family.
Hello, this is Becky Brown, and as we end this year, you can be part of the impact that New Life will have on the lives of so many in the coming year. To give your tax-deductible gift and be part of life change, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE or go to newlife.com. You can also text your gift, text NLM to 28950. That's 28950. Don't miss your opportunity to change a life forever. 1-800-NEW-LIFE, 1-800-NEWLIFE.
To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
And, season number 3 of the Everyman's Battle podcast launches on January 5th. You can connect to it at newlife.com or on our YouTube channel or wherever you get your podcasts. JJ, you host the podcast. What have you got planned for season 3? Oh. We lost JJ. Okay.
Well, it's a surprise.
Yes, it's a
JJ is planning a surprise for season 3.
Because silly me, I managed to hit the mute button.
Hit the wrong button.
I was trying to make adjustments.
Well, don't do that when you record the podcast. Otherwise, nobody will.
I try not to.
Yes.
I do my best not to mute while we're recording the podcast.
Yeah.
But no, I'm super excited about season 3. It's gonna drop first Monday of January. It'll be the first episode, and it'll be available every Monday after that for the whole season 3. Yeah, it's super exciting. One of the things that we have going for season 3 is introducing the facilitators who serve at the Everyman's Battle workshop. We're getting to know each one of them. Each one has their own single episode to share their story and talk about some of their experiences within Everyman's Battle. Really, it's just a rich time. Doug and I had so much fun recording those episodes with them. It was so great to be engaged with them in conversation and hear their wisdom. I know that the audience is going to love that. We've got some familiar faces back again. We have Mark Cameron's back on the podcast as well. So we're covering all new topics. It's going to be a fantastic season 3. Can't wait for the listeners to get to hear.
And seasons 1 and 2 are still up there in case you're new to what we do here at New Life. You can check out seasons 1 and 2 and then get ready for season 3 kicking off January 5th and then every Monday after that as well. And the Everyman's Battle Weekend Intensive is coming up in late January too, and we'll give you more information about that a little bit later, or you can just go to our website right now, newlife.com, or call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Let's read a question that was submitted online at newlife.com/radio. That's got the instructions for how to get your question to us in case you can't call us when we're here in the studio. Brenda sent us this question. Should I reach out to the other grandmother of my grandson? Here's the background. Her son and my daughter used to date, and they have a 3-year-old son. We're Christians, they're not. The relationship between my daughter and the baby's father has been rocky. They're not together now, and there's a custody battle. His claim for a restraining order against my daughter was subsequently dissolved in court. My daughter has yet to see her son, whom the father has kept for 3 months now. I've only met the other grandmother once, and that was at the baby shower. Her son served jail time for shooting at my son because my son came out to help his sister carry the baby to our house from the guard gate. Thank God he missed my son. Yes. Unfortunately, our daughter did not introduce the young man to us prior to getting pregnant, so we never got a chance to get to know him, let alone his family. He's also purposefully damaged her car by reversing his car into her. He lied about it on the restraint and custody paperwork, but ended up admitting fault in court. The family is scrambling because we're trying to salvage her car that she allowed the insurance to lapse, and now the car note is past due. I'm considering taking a personal loan for her to catch up on the car so she can keep it and get to work while my brother is helping her pay for car repairs. She and her dad are at odds. I'm a recovering codependent, so I have to remind myself of the hard facts versus overriding them to pacify and please and squelch conflict. This may be my current struggle. We need our grandson back, says Brenda. Would reaching out to the other grandmother be a positive drop in the bucket? We'll always be the grandmothers of this precious boy. What would you say, Jill, to start?
Wow. Okay, I'm trying to track with all of that. That's quite a story.
Yeah.
And clearly there were things that maybe this, it's not a son-in-law, right? But that their daughter's other parent made a lot of, wrong choices, and the daughter too, right, has had a lot of difficulties, and she chose him. So all of that, it sounds like Brenda is sorting out all of the details of that. Reaching out to the other grandmother. I know there were some legal things mentioned. So I think as long as it doesn't violate any of the legal orders, why not, right? And if you can come from a place of humility and just thinking about what's in the best interest of the children, and you're not there to argue the son and daughter's case. You're there to say, regardless of the outcome of our children, there's a grandchild, and we are grandmothers. And we want to be able to participate, both of us, in this grandchild's life.
Yeah.
And just appeal to her, could you help in that facilitation?
Yeah. JJ?
So funny, because you started with why not, and I started with why.
Yeah.
but for the same reasons, right?
Yes.
Which is, okay, so what is your goal? What's your purpose in reaching out to the grandmother? Again, like you said, as long as it doesn't violate any of the legal constraints that might be in place because of restraining orders or whatever, if it's not that, then we want to take the step back to say, what is your goal? What is your hope in having a conversation with the other grandmother? Because as she readily admitted, there's a history of codependency, and there's a whole lot going on in that story. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
There's so many things,
so many
that
moving parts.
It feels like there may be a part of Brenda's heart that is saying, I need to come in and fix this, and maybe if I coordinate with the other grandmother, we can solve these issues for these two young parents that are trying to co-raise this child. I would be cautious with that. Right? It's not your job to fix, change, control others. So I would be cautious not to try to step in to solve or fix, but certainly, as you said, if I can humbly just go to say, we want to have a good relationship so that there's not any other barriers in the way of all of us together as a village helping to raise this grandson.
Right, so there's some stability
that's
at the grandparent level, right? The kids
Correct.
are emotionally unstable. But if there was stability at this level, that could make a difference in this child's life. I also think that Brenda could look into grandparents' rights. I've known other situations where grandparents were, kind of asked to do that, but didn't want to meddle, and really lost out. And so grandparents also do have some rights, and it would be worth checking into in
And
their state.
they will most likely be the first line of defense if parental rights are either paused or terminated, if the state steps in. Usually, it's not the same in every state, but usually they will look to the closest relatives first. Are you able to? And so if both grandmothers have a good relationship with each other, should that ever happen, that would be helpful, because now they can help to coordinate the care of this little one.
Right. And it certainly does depend on who this other grandmother is, right? So that's why your part, JJ, about being cautious, right, and kind of feeling out the situation and seeing, is she able to separate herself enough from her son's story to do what's in the best interest of the grandchild.
Right. Agreed.
Brenda, thank you so much for sending in your question online, and you can send your question in that way too. Go to newlife.com/radio to find out how. But if you're listening right now, call in. We would love to talk to you. We're going to be in the studio for 2 hours. 1-800-229-3000 is our number. And we're going to begin our time on the phones with Sierra in Albuquerque, listening on KSVA. Welcome to New Life Live.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Yeah. How can we help you today?
Hi. My question is, I have my brother is wanting to come visit for Christmas, and he's come before, but I've always made it clear to him that he needs to have his own place to stay. He rents a room or a hotel, and then we visit over the holidays for a few days. This time he's having issues with finances, and he asked if it was okay if he stayed here. But I don't have peace about it because we've been estranged for a long time. And he's wanting to, actually, he said, I don't know whether I'd be comfortable. I know I'm not comfortable. I'm already anxious about it. And I have to go pick him up this evening. But I need to say that my brother, he's biologically, he's my son, but my mom raised him. My mom had to take my children because I was...
So he was raised as your brother, but you gave birth to him?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
And does he know that relationship?
Yes, he does. Actually, my mom didn't really adopt him. My family adopted him. My younger brother took care of him, and I have 2 other children, the siblings. And then my mom, when she was left widowed, she said, I'll take care of the children. So she took them over because I couldn't. I have post-traumatic stress disorder, and I've been suffering for decades with that.
But it is interesting you call him your brother instead of your son that Grandma raised. So
yes, because go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So it's hard for you to even embrace that with him.
Yes, it's really hard for me to see him as my son.
Yeah.
Because his father was very abusive to me, and I just, there's the history behind that. The way he was brought into the world is I was forced to marry his father because he abducted me, and he wouldn't return me home.
Wow.
And so
that is
would
traumatic.
take me to his mom. Yes, he took me to his mother's home because they were out of town for 2 days. And then when his mother returned, she figured that we had been sexually active. And she went and talked to my mother and told her that I might be pregnant and that we had to get married. And they made me get married.
Wow. Wow, Sierra, that's tragic that you had to go through that. I mean, it's awful to have your power, your control robbed from you like that. I'm curious, though, you said you're going to go pick your son up tonight. So are you picking him up from the airport? Are you driving to pick him up from where he lives?
Oh, that's a good question. And who am I speaking to now?
Oh, JJ.
JJ. Okay. Hi, JJ. I live in a small town outside of a bigger town, Alamogordo, southern New Mexico, and he's in Albuquerque and wants me to go pick him up in a town outside. That's 2 hours away. I don't do a lot of driving, but I kind of feel like I'm in a spot because I had told him that if I could, I would go pick him up, but I don't have a lot of peace about it. I will still do it if I can, but I'm really praying about it because he's really upset if I because I'm not giving him any definite answers, and I tell him I can't
Right.
really tell you for sure where I'm going, and so it's just a whole issue. I feel JJ in some ways, because he himself has had an unstable life living with his grandmother and not really having association with me for so many years, because I was in a state years ago that I just couldn't handle life, and I would just stay in my room and cry morning, noon, and night.
Oh.
Yeah.
How long
Yeah.
has it
So-
been since you've seen him?
Well, I've seen him. He's been coming for like 3 or 4 years, because
Okay.
when we
But has he ever stayed in the
pandemic,
home with you?
He stayed with me one other time before, and every time he stays, we'll be fine for a few hours, and then sometime before the day is over, he'll get upset about something, and he'll raise his voice, and I get so terrified.
Yeah. We've got to take a break, Sierra, so stay on the phone and we'll continue our conversation with you, Jack and Gabriella, and everyone else calling in to 1-800-229-3000. We're in the studio today for 2 hours, so call in. You've got plenty of time to speak with Dr. Jill Hubbard and JJ West at 1-800-229-3000.
Here at New Life, we want you to have transformation. And so we have created the New Life courses, and you meet weekly on Zoom with a coach or counselor. You're going to have teaching as well as that group connection, because we know how powerful that is. We hear that all the time about our intensives, that they love the information, but the group process is so powerful. And many of you have been hesitant to participate because you're not sure, the timing, the price. The New Life courses are going to meet you right at that area of need. Every week you're meeting on Zoom with that therapist. You're going over the concepts as well as connecting as a group. It is so powerful, and it's accessible. Wherever you are, you're going to be able to join us.
Begin your transformation January 29th with a New Life course. Lose it for life, take your life back, or healing is a choice. Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433 or online at newlife.com. Do you need help for life's hard situations?
My husband recently said he wanted a divorce.
I'm confused on what I should do.
I have an eating disorder.
New Life Live answers your questions on relationships, grief, addiction, trauma, anxiety, and much more, all from a biblical perspective with our panel of professional counselors and psychologists.
I learn a lot from your program.
You help so many people.
I appreciate your ministry.
Whether you listen or watch, there are so many ways to connect with us to ask our panel of counselors a question. Call us Monday through Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific at 1-800-229-3000 to ask your question on New Life Live. Or go to newlife.com/radio for other ways to get your question answered.
I'm trying to find help.
I just want to know how to set boundaries.
If it's a sin, what am I supposed to do?
Need a therapist or a coach, a resource, or an intensive? Call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433. 1-800-NEW-LIFE. To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
And let's go back to Sierra in New Mexico. You still with us, Sierra?
Yes, I am.
All right. Thanks for holding through the break.
Yeah, Sierra, our heart really goes out to you. There's a lot going on in your story. And, certainly it sounds like it may be hard for you to separate out your son's abusive father from him at times, especially if you see characteristics. And for him, regardless of why, there's a lot of rejection and abandonment that he has had from you. So you both have this hurt going on, and I'm wondering, and JJ and I were talking at the break, and so we have some different ideas, but I'm wondering, part of kind of protecting Christmas time would be to front load and let him know that he has a lot of hurt and that you have a lot of hurt as well, and can that be set aside for this Christmas celebration? Can we just focus on Christmas and what the meaning of Christmas is, and just that we are together now, and save the hurt for another time where we could maybe talk about what we both feel? So sometimes when you set up the expectation and get someone, ask him if he's willing, because you both are easily triggered. And then the other thought I had would be, can you find him another place to stay? Is there a friend or other family member that would give him a bed for Christmas time?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I appreciate you saying that. I appreciate you saying that because I mentioned my concerns to a friend of mine who she's in Celebrate Recovery with me at our church, and she had said, Sierra, you can have him. I have an extra room. Just have him.
Perfect.
Tell him that he's welcome to stay here. And I've been contemplating that.
Maybe,
like you said, I do understand. I do know that he's hurting, and he lives a different kind of life than I do. He's not saved, and so sometimes it's like I don't know him. It feels like I don't know him, and he doesn't know me. I know he's hurting, but he doesn't know how to. He doesn't go to that place and talk about his hurt. He gets angry, and I want to ask him. I know that you're angry, and I've been praying a lot about it, and I want to tell him, I know you're angry, and you have reason to be angry because you've been shortchanged of your parents.
Yeah, and I think, Sierra, for a lot of times, especially men, that's their go-to emotion. It's easier to be angry because angry feels more empowering than sadness and hurt. But you're right, there's a little boy inside of him. And maybe even to say that, because we tend to trigger each other and have lots of feelings when we're in the same space, my friend has offered for you to stay with her so that we can have Christmas together. And that way it's free of charge. It helps you, and we can kind of protect our Christmas time. So, and JJ, I know you had an idea too.
Yeah. So I love all of that. I think that's a great solution. If that works, that's wonderful. And to remember that, man, mad is sad's bodyguard, right? Mad shows up when sadness is too vulnerable. And there's a situation here where there is some powerlessness for your son, that you call your brother, your son. He's a lot of the power in his life, the choices in his life have been taken from him. He didn't choose to be born. He certainly didn't choose to have these strained relationships. Okay, so all of that being said, whenever we are feeling powerless, we want to power up. We want to balance the scale. And so oftentimes we'll power up with anger, and because anger feels really powerful. So understand that when he is expressing that anger, one, it's probably trying to balance out a feeling of powerlessness, and two, it probably is safeguarding him from the pain of the sadness, the disappointment, the losses, right? Okay, that's one thing. The second thing is, if for some reason he's not open to staying with your friend, maybe what you can do is limit some of the time that you guys spend together. Perhaps you drive to the town that he lives in on Christmas, and you say, let's spend a few hours together, and then you're in control of, if things do get caustic, if things do get out of control, you're able to leave and not feel like you're trapped in the home because he's staying with you. You want to create some safe spaces where you guys can interact, but also have a way to create some distance if you need that in order to stay safe with each other.
Yeah, and I think you have to remind yourself he is not his dad, right? And like JJ you were saying, JJ, that the anger is really about the sadness and the hurt. And Sierra, you're no longer trapped. You're no longer held captive. And so you do have some power here and choices, and it's okay for you to make them.
Thank you, Sierra, for calling in today to New Life Live. We're going to send you a copy of the book, Doing Life with Your Adult Children, and we're going to be in the studio for 2 hours today. So if you've got something you want to talk about, holiday-related or not, give us a call. 1-800-229-3000 is the number, and we're going to be here waiting to talk to you, but we got to leave in 2 hours. So make sure you call us before the 2 hours are up, because we would love to get your phone call here at the station, at the studio, I should say. And if you can't call in when we're here, you can submit your question online, and maybe we'll use it on a future program, and we'll let you know if we do. But if you can call in today, we'd love to hear from you at 1-800-229-3000.
We've been married 33 years. We attended the Intimacy and Marriage Workshop. Even though we've read books or attended a few other marriage weekends, this was certainly different and a lot more intensive than initially that we thought.
When you come to Intimacy and Marriage, you're going to be immersed into a 3-day process.
Was not really sure exactly what to expect, but the idea of learning to really understand intimacy was intriguing. We had been in the same patterns of struggle over and over again.
If you've thought, I don't think we can ever change, we're just in this rut and we can't get out, the Intimacy and Marriage Workshop can help you get out of the rut.
The Intimacy and Marriage Weekend is February 13th to the 15th in Orange County, California. Register online at newlife.com or call 1-800-NEW-LIFE and use the code NLL for a discount. 1-800-639-5433.
I would highly recommend it.
I was sort of vaguely familiar that the 12 steps had some origination in the Bible. I found Life Recovery, and one of the things I liked so much was that it had such a broad appeal. It wasn't limited to just alcohol or drugs, that it was addressing a wide range of problems.
At New Life, we believe everyone can benefit from a life recovery experience. There are life recovery groups all over the country. They take place online, in conference calls, and in person. And if there isn't one in your area, we can help you start one. We have startup materials, leaders' guides, CDs, Bibles, and more, all with discounts available for groups. Call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE and ask for Terry Ward. The 12 Steps have long been a great help to people in recovery because much of the 12 Steps' power comes from the fact that they capture principles clearly revealed in the Bible.
The 12 Steps is really a pattern for all of us as Christians.
Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433. To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
As we approach the end of the year, your gift before December 31st is so important for setting the plan for all ministry activity in 2026. Did you know that 20% of all donations will come the last 2 weeks of the year? A donation's a donation, no matter when we get it, to paraphrase Dr. Seuss, though I don't think that's from The Grinch. Your gift is so needed, and it makes a difference in what we do and in how many people we reach. You can donate at 1-800 by calling 1-800-NEW-LIFE or at newlife.com. And of course, you can mail your donation. Find our mailing address at newlife.com or by calling one of our friendly ministry service elves at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Just make sure your letter is postmarked by December 31st. Back to the phones, 1-800-229-3000. Here is Jack in Grand Rapids, Michigan, listening to us on newlife.com. Hi, Jack. Thanks for calling us today.
Yeah, thanks for taking my call. I'm calling for my 13-year-old granddaughter who's being bullied at school. Essentially, she's not on social media, and these other girls are, and so she's getting a lot of mean comments and being left out and criticized. And I'm just wondering what I could do to help her.
How does she feel about this? Does she wish she was on social media? Whose choice was it for her to not be on it?
No, she's satisfied not to mess with it, actually. But, she doesn't like that she's being...
Well, right.
Well, no, and junior high girls are mean. Right? The mean girl syndrome is real. And girls, though, instead of like boys who just get aggressive, they use social alienation. And and the person who's the meanest kind of wins, because nobody wants to be on the receiving end. So that's why you get people to join with her. And so it's always about who's best friend and who's in the know, right? And so they can have their little, fun, clicky secrets about social media, and she can't join in, which is a really hard thing. But I like the fact that she's not wanting to conform to that, right? Not wanting to join in that, and that hopefully she can see that their behavior isn't nice. And if her family is Christian, that it isn't Christ-like, and that in life we are going to encounter all kinds of people. And so learning at a young age that this is more about them and less about her, and that especially at this age too, maturity-wise, girls mature at different paces. And so some of the girls that mature more quickly often get into trouble, get ahead of themselves, and so we all have to make choices. And so is it the choice about popularity, where you kind of give up who you are, or you get more grounded in trusting who you are and who you want to be as a person? So it's actually kind of some mature concepts at a young age to start instilling in her, and then for her to gravitate towards people that don't need to be like that.
JJ?
Yeah, it's always interesting because in middle school, right, the motto is don't stand out.
Yeah.
Don't be different, conform, or you are going to pay the price. And the fact that she is actually willing to choose not to be on social media because she doesn't think it's good for her or doesn't think it's going to be helpful for her is really amazing, that she can have that ability to see the world that way at such a young age. But absolutely right that there is this huge pressure to conform. A couple things I think could be helpful. One is to ask her, what are the things that she wants her relationships to be about? What is she looking for in her friendships? And inviting people to participate in things that she wants to be about. So if she doesn't want to be about social media, that's fine. But what do you want to be about? How do you want to spend your time? How do you want your relationships to look? And then investing in those types of activities, inviting people to join you in those types of activities. And if they're simply not willing to do so, as Jill said, okay, now I need to evaluate whether or not this is a good relationship for me. If this person will consistently ridicule me for making choices that I think are good for me, is that a person that I really want to invest a lot of time and energy in? Or maybe I need to be looking for friendships where I'm encouraged to be myself. I'm encouraged to stand up for the things that I believe in, and not be criticized. Yeah, go ahead.
Right. So along with what you're saying, JJ, is to kind of ask yourself, how do I feel, and how's my ability to think around certain people versus other people, and so that you get a sense. And Jack, I would be, probing, asking her some questions, get her to talk. Get her to articulate. And you can be a man, a grandfather in her life that validates her and encourages her in her own thoughts and in knowing her own thoughts, because that will help her build the resiliency from getting sucked into these kinds of bullies.
Jack, what kind of hobbies and things does she have?
She's very musical, and she likes to do dance, and she does those kinds of things.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great.
And are these the friends that are bullying her? Are they in those same activities?
No.
It's just through school.
Right. It's just at school.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So she
the other thing I I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say she has different avenues to have friends in social groups, and that's wonderful to have those interests and to make friends around that. Mm-hmm.
Right.
And that'll build her self-esteem as well, those kinds of activities.
Yeah. What were we going to say, JJ?
I was just going to say, to add to that, to encourage her to have the long view. As you know, when you're a teenager or preteen, it's hard. It's hard not to see what's happening today as the most important thing in my life, and this is going to ruin my life or make my life terrific. But to have the long view of ultimately this will matter less and less as I grow up, as my life evolves. This thing that feels so important right now will actually start to fade in terms of its importance. It doesn't mean that it's not important, right? We don't want to demean or diminish what's important to a child at their age. We just want them to help them to see this isn't the end. This is just a step in the journey. And so, of course, it feels awful if people at school are making fun of you, mistreating you, bullying you in some way. That's an awful feeling.
Right.
But it's not the only feeling, and it's not the end of the story.
No, it's not the end of the story, but relationships early in life kind of haunt people, right? It's where foundation is laid. And so that's where I think if she can, learn to define it not about her, and then if she has some other friends and girls that have like some best friends that aren't necessarily the most popular girls, but that are good people, that goes a long way for creating stability in a young girl.
Yeah.
So encouraging that, the friends that are there.
What do you think, Jack?
That sounds good.
Okay, we're going to send you a copy of How We Love Our Kids from the newlife.com store. Thank you so much for calling in today to New Life Live at 1-800-229-3000. And if you are struggling right now, would you commit to one weekend that will set you on a different trajectory? Don't end next year the same place you are today. Visit newlife.com and get all the details about our upcoming workshops. We've helped thousands of people through our weekend intensives and seen countless breakthroughs. JJ, we've got 2 workshops coming up in the first 2 months of the year. Let our listeners and viewers know about Every Man's Battle and Intimacy and Marriage. Quick, you've got 1 minute.
Every Man's Battle is a wonderful workshop for dealing with sexual integrity issues. We go through a lot of material, but the biggest thing is you're involved in a community of other good, safe men where it's safe to tell your story and not have to live in the shame of the secrets that have kept you trapped for so long. Intimacy and Marriage is for learning how to break out of those unhealthy patterns, those core patterns of communication, of relating that have tripped you up for years and years and years. You learn a different way of relating by identifying what's going on inside of me from my own story, as Jill just talked about, from my own story that is impacting the way I do relationships now. Both fantastic intensives to attend, life-changing opportunities.
Oh, good. You finished early, so I have time to give the dates. Every Man's Battle is the weekend of January 23rd, and Intimacy and Marriage is the weekend of February 13th. Both of them will be held in Orange County, California. And if you're serious about change, don't let finances prevent you from getting help. Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE and ask about need-based scholarships. We'll be back.
Hi, Dr. John Townsend here. Resolutions are easy. Education is lasting. If you're ready for a practical next step in your career, the Townsend Institute at Concordia University, Irvine offers accredited online programs in counseling, leadership, executive coaching, and consulting, from certificates to master's and PhD programs, so you can build credentials while you work. Our spring 2026 semester kicks off in February with courses designed for busy work and family schedules. So take one clear step. Join our online information night, Townsend Institute Live, on Wednesday, January 14th. You'll interact with faculty, staff, and alumni. You'll get answers about our degree programs, and you'll enjoy a waived application fee just for attending. So register today at cui.edu/Townsend. Start the year moving toward the callings you were given.
For over 35 years, New Life has been the most trusted name in Christian counseling.
Your ministry has saved my life.
If you struggle with emotional hurt, family or marriage problems, the pit of depression, or the pain of addiction, we can help.
I'm down 100 pounds now from what I was.
I found a counselor through New Life Ministries, and it's just been outstanding.
Our treatment programs provide clinically appropriate solutions from licensed professionals, all in a biblical framework.
I have had problems with alcohol. I think God has ordained this place to be His.
You don't have to be a prisoner of your pain. Help is available at 1-800-NEW-LIFE.
She tells me that I'm a new man, and I feel like a new man.
It worked for me, and it can work for them too.
This time it is different.
If you're ready to take the first steps toward genuine spiritual and emotional healing, call us today at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. God can open the door for a better tomorrow.
To get someone that's competent, that's good at what they do, it's been like day and night compared to what I've had before.
Call 1-800-639-5433. To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
And let's now go to New York, New York. Here is Christian listening on New Life, newlife.com. Welcome to New Life Live, yeah. Christian.
Hi, my name is Christian, and I've been journaling my traumas. There was a while that I was avoiding them, but I'm confronting them, and I'm just writing down and just journaling daily. And I'm replacing those memories with scriptures. The reason I've been doing that, because I say if I do this, maybe I'll get better with my mental. And it has, you know. But I've been taking medication for my asthma for some time now, and I was at a point that I'm just getting some impure thoughts, like suicide thoughts. So there's this medication. There's like a box warning, and I looked this up last night because I was like, there has to be. I just checked, and whatever the symptoms they're saying about the mental warning, I've been experiencing some of those thoughts, like aggression, like if I want to respond out of anger, you know. So my thing is that I understand I have a lung issue, right? But parts of me, like, what do I do? Like, do I continue to take the meds? But then the other part, I feel that the medication for taking all the secondary side effects, I'm working on healing. I'm working to renew my mind, you know, to work my mind. But then there's another thing that I'm coming against, which is a secondary side effects with this, which I believe, you know. And this all started slowly, I would say before Thanksgiving. And
so,
I'm
Christian,
trying to go to the door. Yeah.
Let me ask you this. So, how long have you been taking these meds?
I've been taking this medication for over 10 years.
Okay.
More than 10 years.
Okay, but you're saying these thoughts have just started since Thanksgiving?
Slowly, yeah. They were
okay.
They were like slowly, and then I said, "Oh, this is just an intrusive thought, you know.
Right.
This is not."
Okay, so Christian, stay with me here. When did you start the journaling?
I started this because when the thoughts were coming too aggressively, and I said, "No, I got to start with journaling now."
Okay, sorry to interrupt you, Christian. So it could, you know, I don't know if chronic long-term use, but if you've been using these meds for 10 years and you haven't had this prior, but now in the last, let's say 3 to 6 months, you're having these thoughts along with the journaling, I do think that the journaling is a good idea. Now, sometimes when we are in a better place in life is more stable and safer, the thoughts come up. The past traumas kind of make their way to the surface as if saying it's time to deal with this, and that you're more capable of dealing with it. But they are destabilizing. So I'm wondering if you are in like you're doing the journaling, who are you sharing this with? Are you in therapy or are you in a group? Because that would be helpful.
I actually don't share this with no one. My
Okay.
wife knows that I just journal, but I'm just working on fears, traumas that
That's great.
That will cause me to avoid doing certain things. But I've been, no longer avoiding it. Even though while I'm doing it, I still get those thoughts. But I just, replace it with. I just meditate on scriptures. Wow, that helped me to address that root cause of fear or stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's wonderful. I think we all, though, need a trusted other where we can share these things, because we have to bring, kind of our darkest parts and our shame into relationship, right? It's like what Jesus did for us. He came here so that we could learn how to relate to God better. And he had to show us the way. And so we need other humans. I'm not saying share this with everyone. I realize it's quite sensitive, and you're doing a good job. But you might consider someone, a mentor, a therapist, someplace where you could share these things. And then the other thing, and sorry, JJ, I'll let you jump in. There's all different kinds of ways to treat asthma. And so you might check with your doctor. I know there's, for some people, they, use an inhaler when they sense something coming on. So, or the medication is just when the symptoms are there and not every day. And maybe that would be a better option for you right now.
JJ?
Yeah, so I totally agree. Consult with your physician, whoever's prescribing the asthma medication. Let them know the side effects that you're experiencing, because there may be other medication that you could take that doesn't have the same side effects. There could be other ways of managing your care that wouldn't have the same side effects. So that's going to be really important, that you're not trying to just figure that out on your own, that you're talking with your prescribing physician for that. And then the other thing that Jill talked about, of sharing what you're journaling with others, that's how we bring our lives into the light. That's one of the ways that we bring our lives into the light, is by sharing with another trusted individual. That might be a therapist, it might be a mentor, it might be a friend, it might be a pastor if they have the capacity, but it's sharing with someone, because that's how I experience love. If I'm not known, that I don't fully experience love, because I still, even if you express tremendous love and affection for me, in the back of my head, I go, yeah, but you don't know the truth about me. But when I'm known, that's when I'm loved, because you're in relationship with me, you know me, and you accept me, and you love me. And so that's going to be important, that you have some people in your life, that you're not just, I agree with Jill, it is so important, it's so helpful that you're doing the journaling. I'm really proud of you for taking that step, because it's not easy. It is scary. It is hard to start to unearth some of these painful stories of our lives, these shameful stories of our lives. So I'm really glad that you're doing that, but I don't want you to do it alone.
Well, and here's
I'll
sorry,
just close with this.
Sure.
In Colossians, it tells us that we corporately have the mind of Christ. We don't individually have the mind of Christ. We corporately have the mind of Christ. As elsewhere in Scripture, it says that in Proverbs that there's great wisdom in the counsel of many. So it's important that I'm including other people. It's not just me sitting alone with God trying to figure out my mental health.
Jill?
Yeah, and Christian, also to be aware, and you're utilizing Scripture, so that's wonderful, to be aware that there are all kinds of intrusive thoughts that can come in, and that our feelings, tell us something. They tell us the depth of our pain and the seriousness. But it's important to know we don't have to act on our feelings. We can let them pass through and acknowledge them, and then we move on. And we certainly don't do things that go against what God says.
I think so often we think about a journal as something that we just keep to ourselves, not something that we share with other people. So this concept might be kind of new to some people that are listening right now, to actually share what's in there.
Right. You can actually read it verbatim, or you can take your journal and then share, the thoughts and feelings without sharing every word.
Right. Summarize.
Right. Yeah, summarize it. Yeah.
All right, Christian, thanks for calling us today. We're going to send you a copy of the devotional, How You Think Determines the Course of Your Life. That's from the newlife.com store. We appreciate your phone call. Speaking of phone calls, we're waiting for you. We're going to be in the studio for another hour, so call in. 1-800-229-3000 is the number. I see Joy, I see Trinity, and other people. Call in to 1-800-229-3000, and you can speak with Dr. Jill Hubbard and J.J. West. They're going to be here for another hour. And then join me tomorrow on the Christmas Eve episode of New Life Live, when we will have Becky Brown and Dr. Alice Benton joining us. We can't wait for you to join us for that. But right now we want you to join us on the phones. So do call in to 1-800-229-3000. We will talk to you next time here on New Life Live.
Thanks for listening. We hope this program has helped you by giving you insights for handling the challenges you face in your life. We want you to know that we're here for you, but you also need to know that New Life Live is a listener-supported ministry. To make your donation or to get any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433 or online at newlife.com. Please join us again tomorrow for New Life Live.